Hi guys, another episode today. Mike Reviews It All here with Ryan the Savage, and we're just talking. Digital media is like dying. Ryan was talking about you went to the mall.
Yeah, the physical media is dying out. I went to not my local mall, but I went down to the Alderwood Mall with a pocket full of just unspent, money that I was saving up for a good 3-4 hour just peruse through a video record and whatnot store, and the FYE, which stands for your entertainment, which was like the last standing that I knew of video store record store in a mall was gone, and it was painted over, and it's now gonna become some like children's something. But if you just ever seen Planet of the Apes when he falls to his knees, he's like, "You maniacs!" I did that in front of like 45 people, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And they're probably gonna get called security on. But I pounded the walls. Like, why? Why is it gone? And I went to the store across the way, like, oh, well, the corporate shut them down. They shut down a bunch of their stores. I was like, well, no. And
Maybe they should have started selling fidget spinners to supplement their income.
I bet they did.
And play music,
And it turned out it had been gone for a few months. They should shut it down in April. And I was like, fuck, if I'd known it was there in April,
oh yeah,
everything would have been on clearance. I would have been sad that they were gone, but also been like, okay, I'm gonna need the truck, Dad. I'm gonna need to borrow the truck and back this thing up through the Macy's because I'm just gonna haul it all the way.
That happened to Hastings with me. There's no Hastings over here. There hasn't been for a while, but they were in Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Went to go visit my family, and that's my daughter's favorite part. Besides visiting family, of course, by going over there is going to Hastings and went there, and they went out of business. It's like
they were in the family of like Borders Books, Suncoast Video, Sam Goody, FYA. They were all, I think, under the same corporate umbrella because I used to work for Sam Goody, and I would get an employee discount at Hastings, Borders, not FYE, but in Suncoast because they were all like part of the same conglomerate.
That makes sense. That would be more efficient way to run.
But like the Hastings, there used to be a Borders Books in Linwood. That's gone.
Huh.
I think the only bookstore left that's a chain bookstore is like Barnes and Noble, and I know there's one in Northgate. I think there's still one in Linwood.
Yeah, one of the weird things I seen was really weird because we're over here by Amazon, and obviously Amazon's helping a lot of these places go out of business.
Yeah, because it's
now now Amazon's also buying a bunch of physical stores. I am not quite sure where they're going with that. It's like now we're going to put all these companies out of business, and now we're going to build physical stores. They're building bookstores. They're buying Barnes and Nobles.
Weird.
They're buying their buildings and putting books back in them. I guess
it's weird. But anyway, but one of the reasons for why physical media is declining is because everybody's streaming shit now. Yeah. It's all the red boxes, it's the Netflixes, it's the Hulus, and I don't have a complaint with those. If you have the means and you've got good broadband or whatever it is, have at it. You want to binge watch Walking Dead, God knows I would. But also if anybody remembers the internet, I mean, since we're talking on it right now, remember buffering? If you get a million people trying to watch the same thing, it's going to take you an hour to watch your half-hour show because it's going to slow down and pause and have the little spinny circle of piss you off time to wait.
Oh yeah, I can't stand that.
But
I'll just shut it off.
But just for say you went out to a store or you even went on your computer right now and said Walking Dead season 1. You buy the Blu-ray, buy the DVD. You can watch it all day long. It's going to play.
Yeah.
It's going to play just fine.
Yeah.
Plus, you're going to get creator commentary. You're going to get crew interviews. You're going to get those behind-the-scenes things. You're not going to get those on the streaming sites.
No, and that used to be part of my kind of art decor or whatever you want to call it in my house. You would walk into people's houses, and it was kind of like their art. I want to say you'd have their shelves and have like all their movies.
Yeah, I've got bookshelves full of DVDs and VHS tapes still.
Yep, I still have some VHS tapes. You used to have tons of VHS tapes.
I have my CDs are in my top shelf because that was the narrower, the smallest.
Oh yeah.
I have about like 3 physical bookshelves, like build-up bookshelves full of DVDs, and I've also got shelves built in my walls, and like one whole row is just DVDs and movies.
Yeah, you're gonna have people committing suicide when their phone breaks now because they're not gonna have any CDs in their cars. And
exactly. What are you gonna do? Say when your internet goes down? Like, okay, well they're working on it, or an EMP goes off in the upper atmosphere and just takes out all electronics except for stuff that doesn't have a microchip.
Are you
in
looking
it.
forward to an EMP? I'm kind of looking forward to an EMP.
You know, I was-
to be quite honest, I think it'd be really entertaining.
I think I need like an older car that's like a pre-70s, pre-80s car with no computer chip.
That's true.
Because I read a book called 1
I
Second
do have a
After.
bicycle, but yeah.
It's a really obscure little book called 1 Second After. I read it just because I picked it up and I read the back cover and I was like, okay, why not? I found it like in a bargain bin. It cost me 50 cents.
Yeah.
Again, physical media. That cost me 50 cents. I own that. I don't have to resubscribe to have the same story over and over again, and it works in a blackout as long as I have light.
Yeah.
And I don't need a battery. I'm the battery. Anyway.
But they can't sell that to you every month, so.
No. But it was exactly about a terrorist group launched they launched a nuclear missile from a cargo freighter in the Atlantic, fired up in the upper atmosphere and killed took half the United States' electricity out, and millions died. Refrigerators stopped working. People on insulin died because their insulin expired and went bad.
Oh man.
That's a thing that's always in the back of my
Oh,
head.
I didn't really think about that. Now I feel a little selfish about the EMP.
Yeah, I mean,
Not sharing that on quite so much. I don't want to see people die.
Anybody on respirator, everybody in an old
Oh.
folks home where requires oxygen tanks or a respirator or any kind of medical care, done, just written off.
Yeah, that's a good point in hindsight. I
Tons
do
of-
want my air conditioning.
Tons
where
of
it's
food
100
would
degrees.
spoil. Your
Yeah.
everything would rot.
Yeah. Okay. So EMP bad. I dropped my endorsement on the EMP. Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for it in as a warfare weapon we could use, but yeah, say your power goes out, okay? I've got a portable DVD player. I keep that thing charged up because I live in a place with a lot of trees and it's windy. So a power outage is always a coin flip whenever it gets windy. So it's like, oh no, what are you gonna do? Well, your power's out, your internet's down, so your phone isn't gonna be able to stream shit. Your laptop's not gonna be able to stream shit. But you can slap in a DVD or a Blu-ray, and everybody can huddle around and have a nice, comfortable moment.
Oh yeah. Did you ever watch that show Revolution? It was on NBC.
I did not know.
I really got into that, and then NBC canceled it like they do everything else.
Well,
but
of course,
it was really good for the 4 seasons they had it on. But yeah, that was the premises was there hadn't been power in so long, and they were trying to figure out some kind of government experiment.
I vaguely remember. I think it was on a night that I worked, so I was
I think it was Wednesday nights. Yeah.
And I only have so much room on my TiVo.
Oh yeah.
Or my DVR. It's not a TiVo. Is my DVR? Yeah, okay, I'm guilty there of not having physical media. But that's just because my VCR broke. Up until a few years ago, I still had a VCR and was using the thing no problem. But then had a power surge and it blew up. I lost VCR I lost a lot of old electronics. My parents, they lost their a couple of computers got fried out.
Oh no.
A vintage Neon Olympia beer sign was just exploded damn near.
Oh.
And so that fried the power unit in my VCR. So I still used to tape stuff. So now I've got the satellite with the DVR, and it's always about 4% left. Because I keep stuff.
Oh, I know, that's how I used to be too.
I've
It's you're always running out of space.
I've got stuff taped from 4 years ago. I'm still I'm still kind of want to hang on to that. And a lot of those are shows that lasted for 3 episodes, and it's they're gone.
Man, it's 4 seasons of American Ninja Warrior. If you ever watch that, no, I love that show.
I watched that once. Mine's mostly Robot Chicken, Two Broke Girls, a lot of documentaries, some PBS shit.
Yeah, I do stream a lot. I gotta admit, I do like when a whole season comes out at the same time, like Netflix and Hulu. But I mean, it's awesome on DVD too, when you can put it in and just watch it all.
I mean, because I'm not complaining about digital media. I think it's a great thing, but as long as it's stored securely, because like I said, like we were talking about, an EMP, all that's gone. Yeah. If we get rid of all of our physical media, if there's some catastrophe, that's why we still have Congress has a Hall of Records, where they keep copies of certain stuff physically, and they keep it in a vault underground in controlled areas, because once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, so if we upload all of our shit to the cloud or to the whatever, and something happens to it, all your bank information or whatever information gone.
How secure do you think that cloud is? It scares the shit out of me.
I do not use it. I will not use it.
I won't either. Yeah. I actually know a lot.
I
was surprised that a lot of people actually don't, because I figured, just like with everything else, people would be like, oh, sure, this is a new thing. We'll just upload right to this. But some people they're slow to come around to it, but they will eventually.
Yeah, I'm still very.
Most people will.
Yeah, I'm just very reticent. I'm very different of my generation. I'm not as much into I don't do the Facebook. I don't do the social networking. I don't have a smartphone by choice.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, my phone is my phone. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
It's not my, I'm bored. It's been 45 seconds since I've been entertained. You know, no, it's just.
I have the smartphone because I mean I do for some things. I used to use a lot of for business when I was in a higher position.
Right.
Luckily, I'm not dealing with all that stress anymore. But now I use it for like this, and I like listen to podcasts and different things and stuff. But I don't play games on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I might download one game, and if I find myself playing it for more than 20 minutes, I'll delete it right away.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's a time thief.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll look up, and so that's why I have a separate Facebook account for this channel. It's just Mike Review because I go on there to network with people. Because if I go on there and it's on the one with all my friends and family, I want to see what they're doing sometimes. But I set aside 2 hours to work, and all of a sudden, what's this person doing? An hour and 15 minutes later, I'm looking at fidget spinners or something stupid,
And that's another thing actually to bring up about physical media. I know. Yeah, I'm not necessarily even meaning like DVDs and CDs. I'm also talking about print media, books. Like my mother had her 40th high school reunion a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, she told me, found out just the day before, like 2 days before, because they only announced it on the Facebook of the graduating class.
Oh yeah, that's how mine was. It was my 20th year.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go my 20th year this year. I hated almost everyone I went to high school with.
Yeah,
so.
I have no intention to ever go to any of my high school reunions because everybody's.
I'm in touch with all those people. There's like 15
Yeah.
people that I was friends with, and I'm still in touch with them. So they were actually my friends.
Yeah, well, the only person that I liked from high school died a couple years ago. So I was like, I've got no connection to that school. I dropped out of it. I was never, big into the thing. But anyway, she was telling me people found out the day before, because nobody put it in a newspaper. Nobody sent out a flyer like they used to do, saying hey, guess what, everybody? Because I remember
Oh yeah.
I remember when on her 20th she got a letter or a small little flyer thing or one of those little postcards saying hey, graduate, want to come see all your friends that got fat? And they were like, oh yeah, we found out just today.
Yeah, it's kind of like they force you into this box. It's like you're not gonna know what's going on in the outside world unless you enter our matrix.
Unless you're plugged in.
Take the blue pill. Yeah.
It's gonna be no belly buttons and all head spike things now.
Yeah, and when if you're not plugged in, then people are calling you weird and conspiracy theorist and whatever stupid name they can think of.
Everybody I tell them, they're like, oh yeah, well, Facebook me. I'm like, no, I don't do that. Oh, well, do you still have a MySpace? No. I had a MySpace 20 years ago for 5 minutes because everyone's like, oh yeah, you gotta get this. And then there's oh yeah, well, there's this thing called Facebook. I was like, okay, fine. I finally made a MySpace. I had the background and the music and the whole whatevers. And they're like, oh yeah, well, we got Facebooks now. You gotta get that. I was like, done. I spent 2 hours doing this and done. No, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't care how. I care about what people are up to, but I don't need to be update hey, Jim just bought a ginger ale.
Oh,
smiley face. No.
My friends that post, and one of my best friends, I call them, they'll post, was here at 76 Quick Stop in the town they live in.
Yeah.
Why do I care if you bought a soda at the freaking convenience store?
No one's that interesting where the world needs to know every minute detail of your life. And Twitter, I also think, is worse. Yeah,
Twitter's a difficult one too. I've been trying to get followers on Twitter, and I think they're mostly bots. I'm starting to think they're mostly bots because it's very hard to get followers, and you can't just. The one thing about them is you can't just request people to follow you. You gotta almost trick them into following you.
I just had enough of it and wanted to wash my hands of it when I bought a Sprite one day, and it had a little logo on the back of it and it said, oh hey, friend me on Facebook. I was like, why does my soft drink want to be my friend? What encouraging, interesting things are you gonna have to tell me, soda?
You know what really pissed me off is you grab the sodas and Gatorades. Remember they used to have the tops and you could win a free soda?
Yeah.
And different things. And now all of a sudden it's go to www. Put in this 18-digit code.
Right here.
And
here. Get Coke rewards and punch them all into the thing.
Fuck you, I don't care that much.
It used to, when you were young, it used to be hey, you'd take the cap to the retailer and be like, this says I want a free soda. And they'd be like, all right. here's
And they
your
would
soda.
give you a free soda. Yeah, actually, I bet if we told that to a 12-year-old kid today, they wouldn't believe us. They'd look at us like we're crazy.
I remember back in '99, Coke and Surge was doing it.
Yeah.
I physically won a whole bunch of free Surges. I won a subscription to a magazine, which for that one you had to call the company. It was actually something that you couldn't get from like the store. You had to like call the company and be like, you would read them the code, and they'd be like, okay, well, yeah, you find you better. I won an alarm clock. I won a Surge alarm clock that would scream Surge when it goes up.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you still have that?
I still have that. It's not the best way to wake up having something screaming at you, but I still have it. And I won that sumbitch.
That's pretty cool. I would definitely keep that.
And I still have the bottle cap too. I kept it in like a little thing. I kept all of my winning bottle caps somewhere. Ones I could trade in for like a 20-ounce Surge or whatever.
Nice.
And also, that's a product that went away and came back recently.
Oh yeah, it was a good soda for sodas. Yeah, Surge was not bad.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I was kind of tubby back then, because I was like just pounding like, oh my gosh, it's awesome. My hobby as a kid was eating hamburgers and drinking Surge. Everybody,
Mine was eating pizza and drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's the same thing, really.
Like, but
when I stopped making Surges, I had to like ease down to Mountain Dew.
But then I was skinny. My metabolism was on fire. I was constantly running, doing something.
I was
possibly drinking driving and drinking Mountain Dew. What's that?
I was a chubby boy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, again, physical me. I would rather go just be like, hey, cool, I want a Coke. To okay, now I have to. I punch in this 16-digit code, and now I have to print out a coupon for a Coke.
It's just so impersonal.
At least I'm printing out a coupon on physical paper, even though that's such a waste anyway.
Yeah.
When you could just already have it on the cap, because that's already just depleting resources right there. Plastic comes from oil comes from the ground. Printing out a coupon, that comes from a tree, that comes from the ground too. We can make more trees, but we need ground to put them on.
Yeah.
And we've depleted a lot of trees off the planet.
Yeah.
So like, I guess that would be the case against physical media. Like, hey, you're not using all these resources to make these products, but still, there's some things that should still be kept. The option to have it physically in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely.
Because I don't like the idea that I've bought something that I can't touch or hold.
Well, what if all of a sudden...
But sitting in a server farm somewhere, that one day like, hey, you know what? You bought this, but it expired.
Oh, yeah, because they've done that on things like... I don't want to say for sure, but I think different things like PlayStation Network and things like that, like you buy games online, or you have the physical disc, like they had the backwards compatibility, where you can play the PS1 but not the PS2 gives things on PS3. So they're like, oh, you want to play your old PS2 games that you've already paid for?
Yeah.
You can now buy the digital copy of it. Wait, I have a copy right in my hand. Why don't you just make it so I can play it right now instead of selling me the same game every 5 years?
I was so pissed. One night I was waiting because I used to be quite into gaming. I would wait in line for midnight for the release of like the new Halo game.
Yeah.
And I saved up my money. I was like, I want the super duper fancy special edition with a bunch of crap I don't need, but I kind of want it. And I got it, and I got home, and I opened the thing. I was like, where's the game? Like I pulled out my statue thing and my little trinkets of nothingness, but where the hell's the game? And I find this card that I have to scratch off, like it's a fucking Lucky Lotto scratcher. And it's like, oh, I have to have had a account, a subscription service, and then punch in this number and then download it onto the thing.
That's about $60 a year for Xbox Live or more.
Something like it's like 160 or something. So I was like, well, shit. I just bought a game I can't play because I live out in the boondocks. I don't have internet.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And so I called the store. I was like, yeah. So I called Xbox because I will yell at people. And they're like, okay, we'll have you down. I was like, no, okay, well, if you send us the thing, we will send you a physical copy of the game. I was like, I waited in line at midnight. Unless you FedEx me that now, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah, I would definitely be very upset too. And another point is like, I mean, I'm on Comcast internet. It's super expensive. God forbid, like, you lose your job or something and you have to cut something. Oh, now you got to cut the internet. Everything's gone.
All your music, TV, your phone.
Yeah, if you're doing all streaming.
And Comcast has that monopoly down in like Seattle, in this basically south of here area and kind of there.
Yeah.
Because in Seattle, it's Comcast or you have satellite.
Yeah, that's it. And I didn't want to do. I wasn't doing any cable on that. Now I ended up getting this DirecTV now, which is another streaming thing. The only reason I did it is because on my phone bill they offered it to me for $10 more, and I want to watch Seahawks games.
Right.
It's the only reason. It's the only reason I need cable or physical TV is to watch Seahawks games.
Yeah, I've had no problem with DirecTV. I've had them for years.
Yeah, they seem to be a decent company. Comcast, I mean, their stuff seems to work okay, but they're just so damn overpriced. And yeah, the monopoly thing makes me mad. And the fact that you can't get any channels here with antenna anymore.
Yeah, there's supposed to be when they switched over to the HD or whatever signal, they were supposed to be able to have broadcast antennas like that you'd buy or your TVs were supposed to have themselves. I mean,
They don't work.
They don't do anything.
No, it's because it's different signals.
Yeah.
It was the analog signals before. These digital signals don't travel near as far. What was the point of spending all those billions of dollars so people could have clearer pictures?
Yeah.
That's one of the stupidest things that we've ever done as a country, I swear.
It's not smart.
There's people starving to death, but we're going to spend a bunch of money on giving you a clearer TV picture because that's what's really wrong with your life.
Yeah.
I don't care if your stomach hurts, Timmy. We need a clear TV picture.
Yeah.
Aren't you tired of standing there holding the antenna? Yeah.
And also, if you watch TV from look, somebody records something right now that's on TV. Watch it 5 years from now. Just the natural development of companies themselves improving stuff, it improves the vision. Because I was watching, I think I was watching that Straight Outta Compton movie. It was showing like the footage of the riot in '91 and the '80s. I was like, wow, the TV picture back then really sucked.
Oh yeah.
And then I flipped to my actual news. I was like, yeah, my news looks good. And I put in like a tape from that I taped 15 years ago. I was like, that still looks better than that. This was like taped in like 2000, and for the 10 years between that and that image, just because of companies making better cameras, better equipment, studios making better, investing in better stuff, technology just improving on its own as opposed to just being forced to be this way.
Yeah.
It just evolves better. I mean, go watch Walter. No, who am I thinking of? Edward R. Murrow. Some of his stuff back in the '60s. How grainy and black and white and fuzzy that was.
Oh yeah, some of that stuff. Yeah.
Complain about your TV picture right now when they had like one camera and you had to like have an assortment of wires and like people holding antennas balancing on a cup to get like maybe a fuzzy ghostly image of I Love Lucy.
Yeah, and now we can sit here in a hot office on a phone and take HD video. But
if Nazis had iPhones in the '40s, they'd have won just because it'd have been like, oh, it's an iPhone, and they could be like, oh look, here's all the stuff we did wrong. Everybody, come here, do the opposite of what this says. We'll win this time. And that'd just be like you had like the Encarta encyclopedia on there, or like one little thing, a little bit of history.
Yeah, that'd be great if they do a Back to the Future remake. They gotta go back into the past with a smartphone.
Marty, I dropped my phone in 1940s Berlin. We have to find it. iPhone. Many years of iPhone.
Could you imagine if they did that video now and Hitler found the phone?
Oh, was ist das?
Oh,
An iPhone.
He's just destroying
Apple?
everyone.
Oh. Tinder. Was ist Tinder? In Grindr? In Grindr! Nein, Grindr, nein. Grindr maybe? I don't know. Anyway.
Swipe right, swipe.
Anyway, that was Hitler finding Grindr, everybody. I don't know why that had to happen. My mustache.
They're gonna come after me like PewDiePie now. They're gonna come and take 10-second clips and they're gonna put them all together, and Wall Street Journal is gonna say I'm a Nazi. But no,
I'd be happy if somebody was like made a meme of me just being like, I'm from Tinder, online Tinder. Go ahead, do it. I don't have a problem.
Please just give me attention at this point. Yeah, I'd be happy to get more than 1,000 views.
I'm not a Nazi. I like their fashion sense, but other than that, I don't have any relationship or sympathies for Nazis.
Yeah, no, definitely against Nazis.
But that would be a fun movie to watch, though, just trying to fix that back. And of course, somehow Marty's going to have this, like, great-great-great-grandmother that's, of course, going to be like, oh, das ist mein Marty. Was für sexy, ja? Like, why does every mom want to fuck Marty? That's just not right. And he's all Parkinson's-y now, so he's all shaky. But also Hitler was shaky, too, so he's like, das button.
This is true, yeah. I mean, it's helped some with the medication and stuff, but
it helps it. Good. I think aren't they doing like a reboot or like a sequel or something?
I don't know. I thought I heard something about it, and then I haven't heard anything about it for a long time. So I don't know if anybody knows. Please put it down in the comments there. please like our video. Please subscribe to our channel. I only have like 25 subscribers, so I'm begging you at this point, please subscribe. No. We don't want to be begging, but no pride at this point. Lost. No. Thanks for tuning in to another episode, and have a great week, guys. Hope to see you in the future. Like I said, comment in the bottom whether you think we're great or we suck.